The Sheikh Ibrahim Center for Culture and Research hosted the Lebanese writer Jihad Zain in a lecture titled The Transformations of Arab Political Culture. The lecture focused on the concept of cultural politics in terms of its origin and development, its institutions and models, as well as values, trends, and social changes that have taken place. In the context of cultural and social variables, the lecture attendees included a diverse group of intellectuals, journalists, personalities, and media representatives. Lebanese journalist and political commentator Jihad Zain oversaw the issues section in the Lebanese newspaper An-Nahar and before the opinion section in As-Safir newspaper. He recently wrote about his nearly half a century of experience in the press field in his book The Sinister Profession.
I think these seminars and lectures are very important for Bahrain, especially during the time we're going through many political changes. Since the year 2001, Bahrain has gone through a major political change. The National Action Charter has opened doors towards democratization, more democratization. And today we see people coming here and speaking to us about the challenges that their countries have faced, how they have removed these obstacles and achieved their goals. Of course, such a lecture is important because it highlighted, Jihad Zain as a great writer highlighted how we should be fighting extremism. And let's not forget that we have faced extremism in different countries and we still do face it, but I do see that the GCC countries are doing great in combating extremism and fighting terrorism, and I hope more can happen in that area too.
In light of the digital revolution witnessed by the world, books have changed from a paper form to electronic form, which is now the most common form of books amongst readers and writers. Now with the digital era, we can access all this directly in our pocket from our phones. We can now read the contents of books and newspaper articles, etc., simply by using handheld devices, computers, or other devices that are dedicated to this. There is no doubt that both types of books, whether digital or paper, are useful with its role and features. After centuries of control over the different sources of knowledge, the printed book now faces a competition with e-books and its many techniques. A question remains, have people been convinced by electronic books, or will stick to the traditional use of paper books?
I prefer real tests of paper, and maybe it's easier for me because I'm old man now, and for the eyes it's a little bit difficult, and for me nothing compare for real one.
I like electronic because it's simple and very it's beautiful and watch and writing, fast fighting, and all language I see informational.
Paper books, because I like the feel and the smell of the books in my hand, as well as just looking at the book. It feels easier on my eyes than electronically on a computer screen. So that's why I prefer paper books.
I'm Genevieve. I also prefer paper books because I can take notes. I can tear pages out to save for later, to share with other people.
I much prefer paperbacks. I really like real books. I know a lot of people prefer the electronic versions, but I spend most of my time with my phone on a laptop, and I very old-fashioned, and I like the feel and the touch and the smell of books.
The Arab Hospitals Federation AHF honored Health Minister Faiqa bin Said Al Saleh in recognition of her dedicated efforts and outstanding management and leadership. The minister was presented with a certificate and a shield in acknowledgement of her strenuous efforts over the past years to promote healthcare, consolidate health, and update this vital sector towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. This came during the 20th AHF Forum, which was held at Aida Ballroom Marriott Hotel in Cairo under the theme Developing Arab Health Cadres to Achieve Sustainable Development Goals. The minister appreciates the AHF honor, which acknowledges strenuous efforts to develop the health system in the Kingdom of Bahrain and enhance healthcare services for citizens and residents. Southern Governor Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali Al Khalifa received at his weekly Majlis a host of dignitaries, citizens, senior officials, writers, and media figures. He lauded direct communication with the citizens from the Southern Governorate through his weekly Majlis, expressing happiness about meeting the citizens and catering for their needs. He praised solid social texture in the Southern Governorate, which reflects inherent traditions and characteristics inherited from the fathers and forefathers. He stressed the governorate's keenness to continue following up on services and development projects to meet future aspirations. The citizens expressed thanks and respect to the Southern Governor for his direct meetings and communication with citizens, commending his keenness to reach out to their needs and cater for them. Chief of Public Security Major General Tariq Al-Hassan attended yesterday the graduation ceremony of the first batch of the Training the Trainers workshop. Organized in cooperation with the Regional Office of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the event targeted 25 participants. The chief hailed the directives of Interior Minister and his support to the development and modernization policies for all security authorities that focus on enhancing the skills of manpower for being foundation to achieve professionalism and highly level of security services. He said that His Excellency Interior Minister considers training as a priority in the Interior Ministry in tackling challenges and the best use of modern technology. He congratulated the graduates for passing the course and thanked the UNODC for the efforts and support. Meanwhile, Director of UNDC Regional Office Hatim Ali expressed thanks and appreciation to His Excellency Interior Minister for his support of the partnership between the two organizations, highlighting that the first batch of the local trainers of Interior Ministry officers had worked with a team of UN experts to be able to handle their tasks locally, regionally, and internationally. The Director General of the Criminal Investigation and Forensic Science, Brigadier Abdulaziz Mayouf, asserted the protection of the developments of Bahrain could be through a strong security system that tackles challenges with competency. He said that training equips manpower with the required skills. Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority BTEA Chief Executive Officer Sheikh Khalid bin Ahmed Al Khalifa received Egyptian Ambassador Suha Ibrahim Mohammed Rafat and reviewed ways of strengthening bilateral relations and joint cooperation. They discussed the new BTEA strategy, which aims at developing the vital tourism sector in light of the 2030 Bahrain Economic Vision. BTEA chief stressed the importance of consolidating joint cooperation and enhancing bilateral relations in all fields, particularly the tourism sector, which represents a key pillar of the national economic development. The Egyptian envoy expressed thanks to BTEA chief for the warm welcome, stressing readiness to consolidate bilateral ties and explore bilateral initiatives to bolster joint cooperation. Following an exceptional performance in 2018, All Food for Foodstuff, a Bahraini company with organizations in importing, exporting, and trading fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, frozen goods, and dairy products, has been awarded the prestigious Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Business Excellence Award. Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, President of the Dubai Civil Aviation Authority, CEO and Chairman of the Emirates Group, presented the award to Chief Executive Officer Mohammed Abdul Al. The Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Business Excellence Award, organized by the Dubai Chamber of Commerce, recognizes companies from across the Gulf Cooperation Council GCC for business excellence. The company has earned a special distinction in Bahrain when it won the SME of the Year in the third edition of the Bahrain Award for Entrepreneurship, held under the patronage of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince, Chairman of the Bahrain Economic Development Board.
The Bahrain Award for Entrepreneurship celebrates entrepreneurial spirit and inspires innovation across all sectors to highlight the success and outstanding performance of entrepreneurs in Bahrain. The award encourages creativity, supports enterprising ideas, and elevates the entrepreneurial standards of award winners, enabling them to contribute to the economic development in line with the Kingdom of Bahrain's economic vision. The CEO thanked all the personal partners and stakeholders who made the national and international recognitions possible. In response to public and entities' demand, Organizing Committee of the E-Government Excellence Award 2019, held under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Mubarak Al Khalifa, Deputy Prime Minister, Chairman of the Supreme Committee for Information and Communication Technology, announced the extension of the registration deadline up until March 6th. In light of receiving projects for the award via e-government official website, the committee highlighted the extension of the submission deadline considering the increasing demand and response of individuals as well as entities interested to register and obtain additional time to enable them to prepare registration requirements and submit their projects at their best. It's worth mentioning that doors remain open for government entities to register in many categories such as Best E-Government Website, Best Government-to-Government E-Service, Best Practice in Community E-Participation, Best E-Government Integrated Services for Individuals or Business, along with Best Application for Smart Devices. While the private sector awards include the newly added Best E-Service Award for this year's edition, accompanied with the Best Application for Smart Devices. Moreover, the Citizens Award category comprised Best E-Concept. During mid of March, jury committee members will be announced so as to evaluate the submitted applications. Winners will be awarded by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Mubarak Al Khalifa during the E-Government Excellence Award 2019 ceremony that will be announced at a later stage.
I see your face in every sunrise. So many